Hello and welcome to this video. We are excited to have you here, and in this video we will teach you about pandas for data handling. In this video you will learn how to create pandas data frames using only Python and pandas. Alright, in this video you will learn how to create a data frame from scratch with pandas and Python. And we will begin to create a pandas data frame by creating a Python dictionary with string keys as column names and Python lists with data values, and we will use a pandas constructor to create a data frame from the Python dictionary. Secondly, you will learn to edit the index and index labels of a data frame. And you will learn to add new rows to a data frame and how to add more index labels to a data frame. You will learn to add new columns and how to name columns, plus how to insert the column at a specified position in the data frame. And you will learn how to create a data frame from Python lists without using a dictionary. And finally, we will save the created data frame to some common data file formats to prepare for future videos. And this will be the comma-separated text file and the Excel file. Now it is time to start to type some pandas and Python code, so start up your code editors. And this means your Jupyter Labs notebooks, the Anaconda Cloud notebook, or the local code editor of your own choice. Alright, having started our code editors, we will type some code and we will begin to create a data frame from a Python dictionary. In this example, we will use a fictitious car sales data set created solely for the purpose of this video course. And we will begin to type the commentatory sign and make a comment. That we will begin by importing the pandas library to use pandas objects and functionality. We type import pandas as PD. And the second thing we will do is that we will create a car data dictionary, a Python dictionary with fictitious car sales data. We type car data equals Mercedes and we add Ford and we add Tata and we add Renault. and we will use Pandas constructor function DataFrame to create a Pandas DataFrame from our car data dictionary. We type car sales equals ed DataFrame, and we give the constructor our dictionary as an argument. And we can print the data frame to screen to check that everything was created as intended. We type print car sales. So let's run this code. And here we can see our data frame. So we can see that we have Mercedes column, a Ford column, a Tata column, and a Renault column. And we can see that we have 6 rows in the data frame, and that we have the data values from our dictionary. And now we will edit the index and index labels of the existing data frame. We type car sales, index, rename, and we can call it sales place. And we set in place to true. And in place to true means that we modify the existing data frame rather than create a view of the data frame and modify the view. We will print the car sales data frame again to check that the index was properly renamed. So let's run this code. And here we can see that we have renamed the index to sales place. And now we will rename the index labels using a Python dictionary. We will type car sales, rename, index equals, and here we will enter a dictionary into this function. So we will type the dictionary right into the function. We start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6. And we close the dictionary. And we type in place equals true to modify the existing data frame. And we close the argument function. And we print the car sales data frame. So let's run this code. And here we can see that we have modified the index labels of the data frame. And here we can give a word of advice for data handling, data science, and machine learning. And advice is that setting the index labels to names is normally best done lately in the report stage of any data analysis. And we can type that data sorting may, for example, interfere with the visual aspect of the naming convention related to the order of the data in this data frame used in this example. And renaming of key variables that are necessary to identify a data observation is not advised. Use a new column or make the naming changes as a graphical last stage edit instead. And in practice, this means that you should wait with renaming the index labels until you are in the process of making graphs and diagrams for a final report. And this is because you may need the index labels to connect your data to other data sources or to find data sources. And having a way to address the original data often saves a lot of time. All right. We can also say that the index and index labels are very useful for data selections. And we can try this query as an example. We type print, car sales, locate, do, and we run this code. And here we can see that sales place 2 was printed. So as you can see, having indexes and index labels is a very useful tool for example selecting subsets of data. And we will have a video on that in this video course. So now we will add a new row with index labels to the data frame. using, once again, a Python dictionary. And of course the pandas constructor and the pandas concat function. We type new sales place equals pandas DataFrame, and we type the dictionary into the function as earlier. We type Mercedes, Ford, 5, Tata, Renault, 1. We close the dictionary and we type index equals 7. And we close the function. And we type car sales equals pandas concat car sales, use sales place, and we close the function. And we print car sales. So let's run this code. And here we can see that sales place 7 has been added to the data frame as a row. Add new columns to the data frame using Python list. We type Volvo, and we can add Tesla. And we can add Volvo to our car sales data frame. And we can print our car sales data frame. Let's run this code. And here we can see that we have added a Volvo column to our data frame and that we needed an extra naming for the data frame. And we can insert and name a column at a defined position in the data frame with the insert instruction. We type car sales, insert, And we defined location to be the first position in the data frame. Column equals Tesla. And value equals Tesla. And we can print our car sales data frame. So let's run this code. And here we can see that we have inserted Tesla into the first position of the data frame. And if we wanted to have Tesla between Mercedes and Ford, we would only have to change the location to 1. And so on. As you can see, this is very useful. And now we will create a data frame from Python list. And we will reuse Volvo and Tesla. We can add Ford to create a bigger data frame. So we collect Ford. And we type Ford. And we can add 5. All lists will be equally long. And this is important. We type data equals Volvo, Tesla, and Ford. And we can print data to see the structure of this list of lists. So let's run this code. And here we can see that we have a list which content is 3 lists. And we know that we have Volvo in the first part, Tesla in the second part, and Ford in the third part. And now we'll create the Pandas data frame. We type car sales 2 equals PD data frame list zip Volvo, Tesla, Ford, and columns equals Volvo, Tesla, and Ford. And we close the constructor function. And we can say that the zip function creates a tuple, a Python tuple, for every position in the list or any other iterable collection. And this means, for example, Volvo Tesla at position 0 and Ford at position 0. And the next tuple will have the first position. So that will be a Volvo 1, a Tesla 1, and so on. And the effect of this tuple is that it effectively transposes this list of lists without executing a formal transpose function. We can print car sales 2. So let's run this code. And here we can see that we have a data frame constructed and that it is proper in terms of the list to the data frame. And we can conclude that currently the dictionary with list data presents the least work avenue to create data frames. Without using transpose functions. And now it is time to prepare for the next video and time to learn to save our car sales data frame to the CSV comma separated file format and to the Excel file format. And this is simple in Pandas. So you just type car sales to CSV, and we can call the file car sales CSV, and you can type car sales to Excel. Like this. We can run this code. And now you will have these two file names saved at your Active Directory location. And these files we will use in the next video. And this is how you delete a data frame. We type delete car sales, and this will remove this object completely. So we test print car sales, and let's run this code. And here we can see that the car sales object no longer exists. And the name error is that the name car sales is not defined. So here we have deleted our car sales data frame. In the next video, we will teach you how to load and save data frames into common file formats such as the comma-separated file format, Microsoft's Excel format, And you will learn how to access standard query language database format files for the sake of, for example, transporting an existing database file into a Pandas DataFrame for use. And we look forward to see you in the next video.